News Brief, brought to you by Lipton. Now from New York, Kathleen Sullivan.
Good afternoon. Secretary of Defense Caspar Weinberger went to Capitol Hill today to defend the controversial Reagan administration plan to escort Kuwaiti oil tankers in the Persian Gulf. Secretary Weinberger said U.S. ships will be authorized to use force if necessary, and he said there are risks to American ships protecting the Kuwaitis, particularly from Iran. Meanwhile, reports today from the Gulf region say Iran is mining the narrow approaches to Kuwaiti's oil terminal. They say some mines are being buried, making them difficult to detect with minesweepers. Tonight, Peter Jennings will be reporting from the Persian Gulf. One day after President Reagan reiterated that NATO allies agreed to eliminate medium-range missiles from Europe, U.S. arms control negotiators in Geneva today endorsed the Soviet proposal. Draft treaties proposed by the two superpowers would leave each side with 100 missiles outside Europe. More news in a moment. Citibank said today that it is pulling out of South Africa. Citibank is one of the largest foreign companies to leave that country because of anti-apartheid pressure. Meanwhile, blacks across South Africa stayed home today from work to mark the 11th anniversary of the Soweto uprising. 600 people died in that violence in 1976, which was sparked by a student protest. In Angola, Louisiana, early this morning, Jimmy Wingo was put to death in the electric chair. He is the fourth man executed in Louisiana in the past 10 days. Wingo was convicted for the murder of a Louisiana couple. Now this. The nation's trade deficit worsened in the first 3 months of this year. The Commerce Department says the deficit hit $37.1 billion. And housing starts last month were at their lowest level in 2.5 years. Home building won't be picking up anytime soon. Building permits for new homes were down more than 7.5% in May. Federal agents today fanned out across South Florida in a widespread sweep of organized crime. FBI officials expect 50 arrests by the time that operation's over. And finally, former model Ann Symington shaved off her blonde hair and covered herself with cold cuts last night in protest of the Miss California beauty pageant. During her years as a professional model, Symington once appeared on the cover of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. That's News Brief. I'm Kathleen Sullivan. We'll have more news later on World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Tonight reporting from the Persian Gulf.